Here we go again today. We're out here and we're using Exposure Magic by Jack's Magic. And as you can see, we have our tech and he's applying the product. We have them in a paper respirator and safety glasses. I always use some form of safety. I know this is the pool industry and we try and get away with no safety at all. I mean, you know the golden rule, safety third, right after fun and money. But here we are using Exposure Magic, and as you can tell, there's no fumes. We're all out here with our electronics and everything. We're not worried about them getting messed up from muriatic acid or anything, and spraying on a nice product and starting at the bottom, moving to the top. And as you can see, that application, how easy that is. The reason that application is so easy is because we're using our Exposure Magic application machine. That's made by Tim Pool. That's made by us. We've been working on this product and this equipment for years and years. A lot of testing, a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff, but it's figured out. We're 100% now, and that's why we're introducing this to everybody. But as you can see, it's a nice even flow. A nice even flow. When that comes out of that machine, it's going on evenly. That's not soap either that we're putting in there to make it clean. That's not soap. Don't buy the product and try and cut it with water and add soap and stuff like that. We'll be able to tell if you've done something wrong. Do it the proper way. That's why we're making these videos. Right now there's a little bit of wind blowing and that product is blowing right on me. There's no coughing, there's no sneezing, there's no nothing. Nice, simple application. Beautiful application. When we get into the details of how this product works and the way it's going to save you money on startup, it's going to save you money on warranty, it's going to save you money on equipment, everything. And environmentally, we're going to pump this into those barrels where we have some bicarb in there. Just with this, with 10 gallons of Exposure Magic, we're using a half a pound of sodium bicarbonate. And we're going to neutralize everything. Not that we need to, but we're always safe. Better be safe than sorry. Unless you're using our machine. That machine makes this product. To make this product work, there's pieces that have to be put in play. If you skip one of those, you're not going to have the good end results that we have. But look, and if you look at that, he's not concerned about getting it on the coping or anything. Granted, this coping is going to get painted in the future, but you see that just blowing on me now, it doesn't do anything to you. You can see whenever it hits any cream spots how it activates and foams a little bit more. We're getting a nice, even exposure. We're not worried about those streaks running down the floor. Those are just the natural valleys, the contour of the pool, where excess water and all is going to run. But look at that. Beautiful, nice and even. Nobody's in a hurry. Nobody's hurting their health out here with muriatic acid. Nobody's hurting the environment. This is a good, safe product. And I'm going to explain to you later on how this product is going to save you on your startup. Everything you've ever heard from the National Plaster Council, from your manufacturers or everything about a 28-day startup and pH bounce and adding all kinds of chemicals at the startup process during the water fill or the startup process, all those things are obsolete. One of the biggest things you have to remember is we plaster 10 swimming pools a day. We expose 10 swimming pools a day. This is not some manufacturer telling you by theory how it should be done. We're in business to make money, and we make money by using this product, and we don't take shortcuts. This pool, this is about 420 surface square foot. So we're looking about 830 IA, total walls and floor, square footage. We're using 10 gallons. We could get away with probably 8 gallons. We're going to use 10 gallons on this. Now we've got 3 good layers of Exposure Magic on this pool. And we're just letting it sit there. The product is going to stay active until it basically neutralizes itself with calcium. So We're in no hurry out here. Our machine's off. We're letting it sit on the walls a little bit. Then we're going to spray it again. And if you notice when we first started, that we didn't wet the walls down first. There's no reason to wet your walls down. Just get out here, do any repair work or any sanding that you have to do, and apply the product. We're talking about how much of the exposure magic that we're using. So we've sat here for 10 minutes after we put the first 3 coats on it. And we started out with about 8 gallons. We still have about 2 gallons, maybe 3 gallons left. So here we are, we're going to put 1 more coat on it. Always safe than sorry. Make sure you're out there and you do more than what you need to make sure you guarantee a quality job. So here we are, we're putting it on again, and as you can see, it's really not foaming, it's really not activating, because we have we've exposed that cream. Remember, our old saying was in acid washing that we would burn it off. We're not burning it off, and we're not talking about acid washing anything. Get away from using the word acid. This is exposure magic by one of my best friends, Jack Bean, the owner of Jack's Magic. The guy that's bought us every good product that's ever come out in our industry for treating pool chemistry. Now Jack has done me a favor, and he's helping me out with the finish on the exposure. Next time you see Jack, tell him thank you. Well, here we are, and what we're doing is we're pumping out our exposure magic. And if you look, we have some sodium bicarbonate in those barrels. So we pump into the first barrel, the solids go to the bottom, the clear water comes up to the top, goes into the next barrel and comes over. We're filtering out our barrels. We're filtering out our water to where any water that's discharged is balanced water when it's coming out. And that's how we just take that extra step to make sure that things turn out nice. So here we are, we're rinsing everything down. We're rinsing it down. You can see a little bit of streakage, but remember, the thing that we're going to, as soon as we're done rinsing this down, we're going to bicarb this and neutralize the whole surface. We're going to bicarb, and we're going to put bicarb on the tile, the grout, the coping. Granted, this coping is going to get repainted, but when you're dealing with paver coping or anything like that, we're going to neutralize everything and make sure that there's nothing acidic left. Any types of streaking you see or anything, that's not streaking. That's just where the dye has gotten a little bit more oxidation. It's oxidized a little bit more than next to it. Once we're done bicarbing, we're going to pressure wash and clean every bit of that out and have one solid uniform pool. It's going to be perfect when we're done. And here what we've done is we put water in our tank, and we're spraying out every bit of it out of the line. The reason we do that is we're cleaning out our pump to make our pump last longer. When we used to use that pump on muriatic acid, we would get about a month out of one of these pumps. And a month is probably around 50 or 60 swimming pools. Well, Dave is our lead tech, and he's got 5 months with this pump. It's about 300 swimming pools with this pump. So we're just trying to show you the savings. One pump is going to last you a year or more. If you're using muriatic acid, one pump's going to last you about a month. Hopefully you get more out of it, but probably a month. All right, so here what we've got is we put bicarb in. We have a bicarb solution with water, and we have a pump with a valve on it that when you turn the valve one way, it pumps the water to the barrels. When you turn the valve the other way, it redirects it and pumps it to the water hose, and that way it makes it easier where you don't have to get in and out of the pool. But now we can walk around and spray our bicarb solution on our walls. We're going to spray our bicarb solution on our tile, the coping, all over. We're going to put the hose inside the return fittings, everything. And this is a big process of what we're doing, a big part of the process. This is going to help it to where the material doesn't dry out too quick and gives us time to pressure wash. So you're not pressure washing over any old material that's dried out. So always use lots of well, in a pool this big where we used 8 gallons, we have about 1.5 pounds of sodium bicarbonate. You don't have to use too much because then you get a big mess of foam. So just nice and easy, neutralizing everything. This is a habit that came from us from when we were using muriatic acid, but we've transferred it over into this product. It just helps us give a more clean and even job. What we have here is now we're going to pressure wash. This is very important. 3,500 psi. 3,500 psi has to come out of the tip of your pressure washer. On our machine, we have 2 tips. There's 3,500 psi pressure coming out of both of those tips. You have to ensure that you're not removing the exposure magic. You're not removing that. What you are removing is the oxidized dye residue that is on the top of your finish. The dark streaks that you see in a pool are oxidized dyes or metals that are in the plaster. That's what we're going to remove with the pressure wash. If you use Exposure Magic and you don't use the applicator, you don't bicarb it, and you don't pressure wash it, please don't buy it. Every time we've come up with good things like Jack's Magic Magenta or the other products that Jack Bean makes, and you try and cut a corner, you don't get good results. Let's try for some good results. Do it just how we do it and don't cut one corner, and you will have perfect pools.
We're testing out the initial water chemistry.
Ain't saying a word on that one.
Initial pH reading is a 7.7. We're going to see where our alkalinity is at.
What we're trying not to do is we're trying not to put chemistry. We want to use the bare minimum chemistry before you maintain it yourself.
Yeah.
So what happens? Did you go to Penny or something?
Yeah.
Well, they'll sell you products that make you use
More.
more.
All I would do is, beginning of the year, I would get the shock bands.
Mm-hmm.
I get the 60 shockers that I would run for 2 or 3 days, and after that,
And alkalinity is about 140.
I never really liked it. If it was low pH, I would
Pretty darn good, actually.
or whatever.
When you test your water, test it right. Not test strips, not drops. Use the tablets, Jack's Magic Test Kit. Remember, if you use Jack's Magic products, it'll be 100% across the board. Don't water down your process by using some cheap product. Use the good stuff. All right, here we are. This is our second hit on the startup. We came out here on Friday and the pool was full on Thursday. We came on Friday to do the initial startup with the chemistry, and today is Monday. Remember on Friday when we brushed the floor, we didn't have any plaster dust. Now here we go, second hit, no plaster dust. Now a little bit of dust you saw is from where we pressure washed the deck, but that's not calcium hydroxide. That's just a little dirt from the deck. 2 hits and you're done with these pools. Minimum muriatic acid, minimum anything. What we're going to do now is we're going to test the chemistry of the water, and we're going to show you how it held balance.
So we're getting ready to test the chemistry of the water.
You see how we're using a Jack's Magic test kit and not strips and not drops? Be professional.
Billy.
You better be filming. You play too much.
All right. Got a pH rating of about 7.5. All right, and then the alkalinity test.
Make sure you tell them what it was the other day. Well,
And
we already have.
We started at 7.7 on Friday. And the alkalinity was at 140 on Friday. And we have an alkalinity reading of 100. And again, it was Friday, it was 140. So pH on Friday was 7.7, and today it's 7.5. It's a pretty balanced pool.
And we added how much acid?
Gallon and a half. Yes, sir.
Here you go, get me. Now what you can see is that the water is staying balanced. Now this is our second hit. This pool was ready to turn over to the homeowner after 2 hits. Everything you've been told about 28-day curing time, twice a week for 28 days on the startups, obviously that's wrong. Now I have 120 pools that we've done just like this. I do 2,000 pools a year. I have to learn to be more efficient. And being more efficient is by learning new ways and better ways. Don't just keep hearing what's been repeated for the last 30 years about 28-day cure times and all this startup and adding all these extra chemicals to your pool. Balanced water. Don't do a hot startup. Use our procedure, Jack's Magic products, Exposure Magic, and you don't need all that other stuff. Stop getting ripped off. Pay to get a good job, a good plaster job, and save your money so you can pay for that good plaster job by not buying all these startup products. It's a scam. This is the way to do it. Tim Pool Way. All right.
Looks good.
We're good. When we ran that brush across that pool finish, there was no dust. So you can forget about brushing a pool twice a day for 28 days or adding in extra chemicals to stop the dust from happening. The dust doesn't happen. By using muriatic acid to acid wash your pool finish to help with the exposure and clean it up, you're creating the dust problems, the startup problems, the feet print, the streak problems. Don't use muriatic acid when you expose your pool when you're finished with it. Use exposure magic. All your problems go away.